55 different types of guppies, with pictures. If you just got a tank and are looking to buy your first fish, many experienced aquarists would advise you to start with an easy-to-keep species, like the guppy. However, there are nearly 300 different species of guppies, all with different colors, tail shapes, and individual characteristics. So, if you're uncertain where to start, the following article is just for you. We will talk about guppies' different types, classes, and categorizations and arm you with knowledge before tackling your new hobby. Fancy guppy, Poecilia reticulata. The scientific name, Poecilia reticulata, comes from the Greek and Latin words for speckled and a net-like pattern, respectively. This is a widely available, hardy species. They're otherwise called rainbow fish because of their magnificent coloring, or million fish because of their prolific breeding capability to birth live offspring. The most common aquarium guppies are variations of the fancy guppy. Swamp guppy, Micropoecilia picta. A biotope aquarium may suit this species with their liking for slightly alkaline and brackish water. They are also called scarlet live bearers and thrive in a tank with some algae on a gravel base, where they can swim among plants. Another name they're given is painted guppies because of their rich red or orange coloring, and they birth live babies. Endler guppy, Poecilia wingei. When the Poecilia wingei was under threat of extinction, Professor John Endler rediscovered the species in Venezuela. Their coloring is usually metallic and silvery, and the female is the larger of the two. However, this can change depending on the environment. Like other guppy species, they birth live babies. Different types of guppies by tail shape. The different types of guppies listed in this article by shape are among the class of Poecilia reticulata or fancy guppies. Fantail guppy, fantail, is an apt description of the colorful Poecilia reticulata. You'll find it in the most magnificent ranges of bright pale blues to the deepest purples and reds. In addition, males have elaborate caudal fins. They tend to prefer clean, freshwater tanks. Veiltail guppy. If, like me, you know little about the different types of guppies, you might wonder what the difference is between a fantail guppy and a veiltail guppy. While both have symmetrical, isosceles triangle-shaped tails, the veiltail guppies is longer and more flowing, as is its dorsal fin. Delta, triangle tail guppy. Again, this tail shape is so similar to the fantail and veiltail, but when you see it, you can't help thinking of a river delta flowing into the ocean, with the ends flowing in an outward curve. Also, their ventral fins are smaller. As a rule, the coloring of the delta guppy is two-tone from front to back, but genetic variations occur. Scarf, flag-tail guppy. The tail of the scarf-tail or flagtail guppy is slightly shorter and narrower than in other species. Also, when the scarf-tail guppy swims, its tail flows behind it, giving the appearance of a flag blowing in the wind. Like other species of guppy, the colors can be spectacular. These fish are primarily olive green in the wild, but genetic mutations in captivity have resulted in many colors. Like other guppies, the double swordtail guppy derives its name from the shape of its tail. The top and bottom of the tail extend into sword-like protrusions. While similar to the double swordtail guppy, only the top part of the tail extends into the sword-like protrusion. The colors of swordtail guppies in captivity are varied because of genetic adaptations. Again, similar to the double swordtail guppy and top swordtail guppy, the bottom part of this one's tail extends into the sword-like protrusion. Lyre-tail guppy. These exceptionally colorful, Patterned guppies have a unique fingerprint in their colors and markings. They are gray with splashes of color and hardier than their brethren. They have teeth on their upper and lower jaws. The white-tailed, lyre-tail guppies are usually silver, green, or red. Spear-tail guppies have an unusual appearance. As one of the uniquely different types of guppies, they'll definitely draw your eye when in aquariums. While the tail has rounded edges, it's a type into a point at the end, very similar to the head of a spear. Its dorsal fins are also an unusual shape and take about a third of the body lengths. The round-tail guppy is not dissimilar to the spear-tail guppy in that the dorsal fin flows towards and becomes a part of the rounded tail. These come in a large variety of shades and patterns and can become a unique-looking addition to your home aquarium. This is probably the most easily distinguishable and beautiful of the guppies. The rounded tail ends in a sharp, narrow point like a needle. You can find the species in a wide variety of colors. While the half-moon-tail guppy is similar to the round-tail guppy, the half-moon tail has a much larger tail or caudal fin. Also, the tail fan angles away from the body at 90 degrees before arching into the half-moon. Coffer-tail guppy. This is also known as the spade-tail guppy. And while the fish is small, the tail extends outward by half the body length, resembling a shovel or spade. While cobra guppies come in many color varieties. The reticulations in their patterning and the vertical black bars that sometimes run across their bodies give the impression that you are looking at a cobra's skin. Tuxedo guppy. Originally bred in Germany, the tuxedo guppy has an elegant appeal. The top half of the body, or head, is a different color to the rest of the body, sometimes black, sometimes other colors. The tail end dorsal fin is usually a different hue of the same color as on the head. Snakeskin guppy. Another of the many color variations of the guppy is the snakeskin guppy. Changes may be observed within the multiple colors of the snakeskin guppy, pattern, and color, due to genetic variations. For example, the snakeskin appearance in yellow males covers the entire body and fins. Different types of guppies by tail pattern. Tail patterns are useful when telling the different types of guppies apart. The style, as well as the tail color, help us distinguish the following guppies. The lace guppy is not entirely dissimilar to the cobra guppy in the patenting of their scales. However, it does not have vertical bars running across its body. The lace guppy also comes in a wide range of colors. And occasionally, the tips of the tail and fins may be a different color, giving the guppy an elegant touch. Glass guppy. The highly unusual coloring of the glass guppy makes it one of the uniquely most unique ones on our list. They are entirely translucent since they have no black or silver pigmentation. You can literally observe the eggs and babies inside the mother. Mosaic guppy. You could find a mosaic in shades of red, violet, orange, blue, and yellow. It has become relatively well known among aquarists, and females are also brightly colored. The leopard-like markings on its body and fins distinguish the leopard guppy from different types of guppies. The color ranges from pale yellow to quite a dark orange. Different types of guppies by color. When looking at the colors of different guppies, you'll find several in this category. Albino guppy. Because these guppies have no pigment, the color appears to be pinkish white. Their eyes also have no pigment and are slightly reddish, making them easily noticeable compared to other white breeds. The white guppy, also known as the platinum guppy, is popular for beginner aquarists. They add a beautiful snow-like touch to the aquarium aesthetic. Black guppies come in a range of tail shapes: round tail, pintail, spear tail, sword tail, lyre tail, spade tail, flag tail, veil tail, fantail, and triangle tail. In the case of a black delta-tail guppy, the tail is black, and the front, or head, is white or silver-ish. The red guppy has a solid predominant red color with a slight variation over small areas. There are several predominantly red guppies, such as the albino full red, flamingo red, full red gold, and Moscow red. Blue guppy. The tail of the blue guppy is a beautiful electric blue. In most, this is true for the entire body, except for the delta tail variant, where the body may be brown or silver. If in a guppy, the body is red, and the tail is blue, it is known as a blue guppy. Neon blue guppies are, well, a bright neon blue. However, the color is paler than the electric blue we mentioned above. Also, the absolute color depends on the style of the tail.